Please take your seats. Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Milford High School National Honor Society Chapter Spring Induction Ceremony. I'd like to first thank Superintendent Tremblay, Assistant Superintendents McIntyre and Perry, Principal Bannock, Assistant Principals McGilvery and Pierre Gustavo, as well as School Committee Chairman Walsh, Vice Chairman Marias, and the welcomes and members of the school committee for attending our ceremony tonight. To the friends and family of these candidates, you should be very proud of their accomplishments for gaining membership in this organization. And finally, I would like to be the first of many to congratulate the inductees for gaining membership into this prestigious organization. You are finally starting the portion of your high school careers where all of the hard work that you have put into your academics and community throughout the past 3 years is starting to pay off. Now, as you start the next chapter of your life as high school seniors, your membership in the National Honor Society will help you give back to your school and community to a much greater degree than you have been able to individually. Being accepted into the National Honor Society does not simply portray intelligence, but rather your ability to embody the 4 pillars that signify what it means to be a member: scholarship, service, character, and leadership. Now, as each of you are given this amazing opportunity to incorporate each of these values into your everyday lives, it is left up to you to seize this and put it in the effort that will drive you to success. It is easy to get caught up in your senior year, with sports, college applications, extracurricular activities, and academics pulling your attention in multiple directions, and thus easy to forget to take a step back and remember why we are in the National Honor Society. Enjoy your time in high school, participating in your last game or meet, helping an elementary school student finish their homework for the night, studying for your final exams, and working to take your first steps beyond this building into a world full of opportunity and possibility. But through the busy afternoons and late nights, you must not forget your duty as a member of this organization. Strive to make the ideals of this organization the ideals of your life: scholarship, service, character, and leadership. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite my fellow officer, Samantha Pelletier, to the podium to share her reflection on service.
Thank you, Jackson. President Barack Obama once said, "The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope." In the chaotic world we live in today, a little hope goes a long way. And whether you realize it or not, you, the current and the future members of the National Honor Society, are inspiring that hope through your acts of community service. Service can have many different definitions. In my eyes, service is giving to those in need, sacrificing time, money, or energy, and expecting nothing in return. The selflessness and compassion required of those who are willing to serve their community makes it obvious why service is one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Every single one of you has shown your desire to improve the world around you, to create that much-needed hope. You occupied the little bit of free time you had in your busy schedules with setting up elementary school dances, helping 4th grade students with their homework, teaching religious education classes, collecting jeans for the homeless, spending time with senior citizens at our Senior Citizens Prom, and countless other events that reflect your individual interests and skills. The numerous hours we spent volunteering are worth so much more than just a number on an application or resume. We truly improved our community. It is easy to get caught up in the superficial motivations behind doing service, and certainly doing service for a selfish reason is better than not doing service at all. But I honestly believe that those of you sitting in this room today did not dedicate hours of your life to your community to simply become a member of the National Honor Society. You did it because you understand the value of being charitable. You see the positive impact that just a few hours of your time can make on a person's life. You understand that the world around you can and will improve through your actions. For such a simple idea, it's amazing how it evades so many people. While emptying recycling bins may not seem like the key to creating a better future, the members of the National Honor Society understand how any act of service, no matter how menial, has an impact. For those of us moving on to the next chapter of our lives, the future holds limitless service opportunities, opportunities I hope we all continue to take advantage of. Some of us may continue to serve in Milford. Some of us may extend our service to all corners of the globe. Really, it's irrelevant. Generosity is valuable everywhere. Those of you being inducted this evening already proved your dedication to serve. But all of us need to remember that service never truly ends. It's a lifelong commitment. Use your talents and interests to discover how you can best serve your community, and do it. Service is just as valuable to the volunteer as it is to the recipients, as most of you have probably already discovered. As life gets hectic, don't forget that. As Fred Rogers said, we live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world, not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes. I believe, as members of the National Honor Society, that it is our duty, our destiny, to become those heroes. The world is waiting to see what all of us can do together. I am confident we will make the world proud. Thank you. I would now like to invite my fellow officer, Kate Rosenblatt, to the podium to share her reflection on character.
Thank you, Sam. Oh, wrong one. Thank you, Sam. I'm supposed to be giving my interpretation on character, which is a very broad idea and something I don't think too many people consider. It's definitely not something I walk around thinking about all the time. So I went to the one place everyone goes to when they have serious questions, Mr. Dowd. Just kidding, I actually went to Google. And while I was looking through all kinds of statements about character, one jumped out at me. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Character is like a tree, and reputation its shadow. The shadow is what we think it is, and the tree is the real thing." When I first read this statement, my reaction was, what does this even mean? But after rereading it a few times, it started to make sense, and the more I thought of it, the more I wanted to share my feelings on it. However, I am glad I did, because whether we realize it or not, we are constantly reacting to the character of both others and ourselves. To me, character is who you are and what you do in the face of adversity. It's easy to say, oh, they have such great character, in a common, everyday setting, when there aren't any real stakes on the line. However, when someone is faced with a problem, the way they handle it makes up their character. Regardless of age, profession, or gender, everyone faces conflict. Of course, a conflict for a child who can't find their stuffed animal is completely different for a parent trying to knock some sense into their 18-year-old daughter. Hey, Mom. But the way someone comes out of that situation speaks immensely about their character. In a tough situation, there are two possible outcomes: let it completely defeat one and forget about it, or take what can be learned and apply it in the future. We can learn the most about ourselves when we have to do something out of our comfort zone, something that forces us into a situation that measures our character. I think that's what we should remember. Character is not determined by what we do day to day, because, let's face it, we probably do at least two things every day we look back on and think, what was I thinking? Instead, it's determined by how we react in these situations. Character reveals who someone is at the core, despite any outside influences or preconceptions. So going back to the quote, Lincoln says that the shadow is what we think character is, meaning character is often misinterpreted, as the shadow is the first thing we see before arriving at the bigger picture. Whether it be in high school, college, or the real world, people usually ignore the adage they've been taught since kindergarten and judge a book by its cover, developing an opinion on someone before even meeting them, and this is almost always different from the truth. However, once time is taken to see who someone truly is, the bigger picture is revealed, the tree. We cannot base someone off their shadow, as everyone sees things differently. We must come to our own conclusions, and whether or not we choose to do that speaks about our character. Character can be determined by many factors and looked at in many different situations. I urge everybody to look past the shadows and see the individual that lies underneath. Thank you. I would now like to invite my fellow officer, Jackson Lynch, back to the podium to share his reflection on scholarship.
Thank you, Kate. Scholarship. In its most basic understanding, it simply means success in academics, getting good grades on tests, and doing homework on time. For most of us seniors right now, it might be better translated as how much money we can get colleges to give us over the next few years. All of the juniors and seniors here today are obviously academically qualified, but it is not simply the ability to put up with schoolwork over the years that truly makes us scholars. The idea of scholarship extends far past the 6 hours spent at school and the few more at home doing homework day after day. It penetrates our lives and our mindsets as students, and it becomes part of ourselves, a part of who we are. As scholars, our studies take on an importance to us that they may not for others. Rather than a list of facts on a piece of paper to memorize, notes become ideas, topics for discussion, interpretation, and argument. Projects become more than just working together, an opportunity to share thoughts with one another and collaborate to create something that goes far beyond just a grade. All of the things that are taught are a given in life, in the minds of those that take a little extra time to think beyond just what might appear on a test or a quiz. Scholars recognize that there's a much bigger connection between what we know and who we are. It is not simply facts that we learn, but rather ideas. Ideas that we can discuss and be passionate about. Ideas that allow us to reflect on ourselves, the world we live in, and they even allow us to consider the possibilities of the unlimited discovery and knowledge that still exists in our universe. Whether you are pursuing an interest in math, science, literature, foreign language, music, arts, whatever it may be, all of the passion that we have for what we learn, a passion that we can share with each other, is what truly allows us to be scholars. As we endeavor into the future, we will meet others who share this with us, and we will grow as we help others do the same. We will go into the future with a drive and a passion that will push us into excellence. We will be the people who venture out into the world and change it for the better. Thank you. I would now like to invite my fellow officer, Matt Hoffman, to the podium to share our final reflection on leadership.
Thank you, Jackson. Inductees, before I begin, I want you all to really think about the qualities that my fellow officers have discussed with you. Academics, service, and character. By virtue of joining this renowned organization, you have already in some way exemplified these characteristics in your daily lives. So not only are you the academic leaders of the school, but people recognize the effort that you put in and the pride that you take in your work. So now is the time to stop and acknowledge that you are the ones who put yourselves here tonight. This ceremony serves as both a reward and a reminder of the great responsibility that comes with being the leaders that you are. Whether you like it or not, another factor of joining this group is that people are going to look up to you. Regardless of if it's in the class or on the field, you are now role models in every way, and being part of this group means that you are all leaders in your own right. It's a big job, but it's also a wonderful privilege. Leadership itself is a hard thing to define. To be a leader, you don't have to be the president of your club, the captain of your team, or any sort of officer. Being a leader isn't a matter of position. Being a leader and being an effective leader depends on the influence you have on others, the effect you have on your community, and the respect you garner from your peers. Whether you are leading by example or actively making decisions for your group, leadership is more so about the decisions you make when you think no one is watching. Leadership is the sum of your character and the effect that it bears on others. And I can say without a doubt that all of you are and will be effective leaders throughout your lives because you are here with us today. This organization houses leaders of nearly every group in the school, including yearbook, peer mentoring, microfinance, marching band, JSA, best buddies, academic decathlon, mock trial, CARE, SAD, culture club, Trium Music Honor Society, National Art Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, as well as over a dozen varsity sports. You are joining a society of leaders, and as such, we are entrusting you with the responsibility that has been vested in us by our predecessors as they were their own, and that responsibility is not something to be taken lightly. As leaders, we have the power to shape the actions of others through our own. Possibly the hardest thing to accept about being a leader is that our impact may be unseen, unrecognized, or unrewarded. Nevertheless, your individual responsibility to our school, to our community, is to lead in a direction that ensures the greatest positive impact. Inductees, going into your senior year of high school, the torch is being passed to you. You are the leaders of the school. Your actions will dictate the actions of those to come. In a year from now, some of you will be giving these very speeches. Before that time, I urge you all to consider what brought you here today. Think about the person you are, the person others see you as, the person you want to become, and most importantly, what will become your legacy. I wish you all the best of luck in your future, and welcome to the National Honor Society. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome Principal Bannock to the stage to say a few words and induct the juniors to the Honor Society.
Thank you, Matt, very much, and I thank all of you, Kate and Sam and Jackson, for your reflections. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to honor and to celebrate your achievement. Today, you become members of the National Honor Society. You have demonstrated achievement within the 4 pillars required for induction: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. And your commitment to these virtues has led you to this remarkable milestone. As I thought about your induction this evening and how proud I am of you and how happy I am for you and for your family, I thought about the fortitude and the patience that it took to reach this day. Your journey to the National Honor Society evolved over time, many years of hard work and sacrifice, putting your studies before what limited free time you may have, or foregoing a social activity because of a test that you had coming up. Your disciplined habits of mind demonstrate the leadership and character necessary for academic and personal achievement. When an assignment was difficult, you did not give up. You did not throw your hands up and walk away. You worked with your teachers. You persevered. You cared about doing better. You didn't expect an instant A all the time, but rather you invested in the learning process to grow as a student of intellect and character. The stamina to persevere when a task is difficult, to pull yourself up when it matters most, and to never give up. Those are the qualities that lead to excellence. In the long run, the sacrifices you have made will reap greater rewards than anything you may have missed. I thank all of our seniors and juniors who helped with our NEASC accreditation visit. Giving up your Saturday and your Sunday last week was tremendously generous, and I want you to know how grateful I am to all of you for your support. Your leadership will continue to be sought out in countless ways on your academic journey. I know that I will count on you as we advance excellence in education, school culture, and 21st century learning. Thank you. I ask you to join me in the following pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of this society to which I have been elected, by word and deed, to make its ideals the ideals of my school and of my life. At this time, I would like to invite our superintendent, Dr. Robert Tremblay, and the chairman of our school committee, Mr. Michael Walsh, to join us on stage to congratulate our inductees. It is now my privilege to present the following candidates for induction into the National Honor Society. Please hold your applause until all of our inductees have been called. Sierra Agnew. Nicholas Antonellis. Victoria Fire. Morgan Blaney. Allison Buckenmeyer. Jillian Burley. Audrey Bushy. Christina Capone. Stephanie Shirilli. Christopher Sishu. Nicole Dahlgren. Kivan Darwala. Kelsey Da Silva. Caitlin DeCapua. Elena Della Russo. Michelle Donato. Emily Duquette. Margaret Farrell. Catherine France. Kristen Franzini. Stephanie Gauthier. Ryan Gray. Christopher Hart. Caitlin Hartman. Blake Hill. Ashby Hobart. Nia Johnson. Brett Kimball. Brianna Lee Young. Emma Liskov. Jordan Lombardo. Bridget Mack. Molly Maclow. Daniel Mendoza. Morgan Nicholson. Sydney Morrison. Angelina Oliva. Andrew Hilaria. Marcello Pano. Fiona Raleigh. Hari Raval. Diane Reardon. Emma Ryan. Alec Salomon. Victoria Scozafava. Zach Tamani. Lauren Tomaso. Kevin Trong. Christopher Watson. Michael Weber. Lauren Zorangian. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to please join me in congratulating our new members of the National Thank you, Mr. Baudet, and members of our chamber orchestra. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the senior members and present them with their National Honor Society pins. We ask that you please hold your applause until each full row of students has received their award. Kayla Antonellis. Alexandra Atenzio. Lindsay Barron. Justin Borges. Kendra Curry. Andrew Dagg. Julie Dam. Michael Delgado. Jack DeSantis. Joan Donahue. Stephen Donnelly. Caitlin Flannery. Aaron Fleming. Kelsey Gaudette. Margaret Gem. Louise Gonzalez. Grace Hancock. Alexander Hastings. Thomas Jacobson. Cameron Knopf. Janice Madden. Adriana Marks. Alay Mamadou. Leo Moranda. Billy Nichols. Maya Paterno. Caitlin Padranti. Megan Panett. Olivia Recchia. Noah Richardson. Brianna Rondo. Marilyn Saha. Liliana Schmallenberger. Olivia Scott. Gianna Silva. Jenna Smith. Morgan Smith. Philippa Souza. Nicole Stavopoulos. Ian Steinfeld. Karina Thompson. Kayla Bongpo. Sarah Talbin. Ryan White. Senior Officer Jackson Lynch. Senior Officer Samantha Pelletier. Senior Officer Matthew Hoffman. Senior Officer Kate Rosenblatt.
On behalf of both the senior and now junior members of the National Honor Society, I would like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I would like to especially thank the following individuals who helped make this night possible. Our Superintendent, Dr. Robert Tremblay. Our Assistant Superintendents, Mrs. Kathleen Perry and Mr. Kevin McIntyre. The Chairman of the School Committee, Mr. Michael Walsh, and all members of the School Committee. Our Principal, Mrs. Carolyn Banach, and our Assistant Principals, Mr. Mark McGilvery and Mr. Richard Pergasava. The National Honor Society Faculty Council. Mr. Baudet in the orchestra. all his hard work preparing the technology for the ceremony. Our 3 flag bearers, Nathan Yan, Emily Condon, and Kate Lamette. The Milford High Custodial staff. All of our teachers, mentors, and coaches who have helped us along the way. And finally, a very special thank you to each and every one of you sitting in the audience tonight. Your love and support and guidance is what makes us have the drive to make each and every one of our successes, including nights like this one, possible. Again, thank you everyone for being here tonight, and please join us for refreshments in the lobby at the conclusion of the ceremony. Good night.
We have just one more very special thank you. We have the 2 most humble National Honor Society advisors that you could ever know, and 2 truly tremendous colleagues. I ask Ms. Small and Mr. Dow to please stand, the advisors to the National Honor Society.